Who's headed the council, Roger or Holmes?
Roger, did I put
Oh.
the wrong one down?
I'm just wondering, if the last time Holmes,
Yeah.
I'm so used to it being the third Monday, I cannot get into it. It's the first of the month.
Yeah, me either. And I'm still, you know, if they don't remind me that day.
Tell me about it, the reason I missed the
Chairman
last
of
one.
education, I'm the vice chair.
Instead of co-chair?
Yeah, I'm co-chair of education.
Isn't that what I put?
No.
Okay.
but I was the
I
chairman.
mean, okay, on the agenda?
Yeah,
Okay, I think in the minutes I got co-chair.
do you?
I hope.
Yeah, Darrell Glenn is chairman of education.
Okay.
Kyllä mä säger nittis. I say hello to our Delaware's here and our friends. And I would call this meeting to order at 4:13 and ask Alan Barnes if he'd lead us in a word of prayer.
Let us pray. Dear God, Father, our Creator, we call your name to give you praise and glory and say thank you for this day. We look to you at this meeting to help give our Delaware Trust Board members the guidance and the good grace to help them make the decisions that they need to make in order to continue leading our tribe. And we call your names to ask you for all of your blessings. We look to bless our veterans and all of the different committee members that are here and to help support their committees. And we ask this through your Son, Jesus Christ's name, we pray. Amen.
Roll call.
Chairman Chester Brooks.
Here.
Vice Chair Mary Waters. Here. Secretary Vernon Crawford. Here. Treasurer John Sumter.
Here.
Homer Scott.
Here.
Joe Brooks.
Here.
Roger Stewart.
Here.
We have all here. We have a quorum.
I'd like to welcome everybody and ask for a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make the motion to approve with corrections.
I second it.
What corrections, Joe?
Corrections, Cultural Preservation Committee Chair is not Chet Brooks, Homer Scott. Education Committee, I'm not the chair, I'm the co-chair of Education Committee.
Excuse me, Joe, I'm going to do this so we can hear you recording. Just everybody, again, when it comes time for your turn to talk, you push the button and keep the microphone flowing toward your mouth. Thank you.
That's on the two corrections I saw.
All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Agenda's approved. The minutes of our March 18th, 2015 meeting. I think everybody got them by email except Mary. But we'll take a few minutes for review.
You got their orders, correct?
Yes.
Homework down the
Yeah.
I saw some also.
Are you ready with your corrections?
Make a motion that approve one. Approve the minutes from the last meeting with corrections.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the minutes of March 17th. Do I hear corrections?
Yeah, got one here on cultural preservation, it's got Chair Roger Stewart, and she's been moved.
Same thing on the education, list me as chair, co-chair. On the top, at the top, education, it says chair, go for it.
Yeah.
Do I hear additional corrections?
I have one. Under Elders Committee, it was noted that the Elder Committee would elect officers every 2 years.
think what I
What
need
you
to do
meant?
is this started in 2014. I think it's what you said before, and I didn't word it correctly.
I don't know. I just know our next election will be 2 years. Yeah, that'd be right. Starting, well, just add October,
Okay.
starting October 26th.
15.
15. Yeah, it should be 15.
Are you going to be doing those elections on the same year as, well, that'd be before the trust board elections? Are you gonna be doing it on the same year as the elections, or are you gonna do it every other, the off years?
Originally, it was set up to do every 2 years. But when we reorganized, it was like August of 2013. And so we let it run till October 2015.
Yeah.
And from there on, it's supposed to be 2 years in October, every 2 years.
Yeah. So it will be on.
We didn't consider.
Want to do it October, though, or November.
Okay, yeah, what I'm trying to get at, election is November of every even year. And, all I'm looking at is that probably it might work better for you to do the election in, like,
That
well, I'd
needs to
say
go back
no.
to the elder committee and let them.
Right, well, this is a suggestion that you guys need to think about.
It would be good if it were just right after the
Right.
election. So
Be
Right
the,
after the election.
probably the December meeting.
It wouldn't matter. What would matter?
Well, if the person that's chairman of the committee doesn't get reelected, that would be the problem. But that's for you guys to talk about, think about.
But the chairman of the elders committee itself doesn't have to be the trust board member.
Right.
That can just be
Either
someone
the
from
chair,
the trust
either the
board.
chair or the co-chair,
Well,
one of the.
Well, I'm just bringing it up so you guys can think about it. I'm not gonna try to change your minutes, I'm just, so that you can think about it.
I withdraw my correction then.
No,
Well, you don't
this is
know.
correct. It just,
It's
you may
correct
want
in
to
the end.
change it.
Yeah, but
I put,
I
this
put,
started in 2014,
2013.
2013 is
yeah,
when, okay,
and it was supposed to be for 2 years,
okay.
and that's why I said October 2015. And that's when I plan to call for the election then,
Okay,
so we can vote on a new elder chairman.
And that's correct for your minutes.
right, I've got your correction, thank you.
Do I hear further corrections? If there are no further corrections, all in favor of approval of the minutes as correct, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Or abstentions? Passes unanimously as approved. Or as corrected. Treasurer report, John Sumter.
Okay, at our beginning period, our balance was $4,277,245.39. And our current period balance is $251,811, $4,251,811.57 for a difference of $25,433.82. I was looking back just at curiosity, as of December 31st, 2014, we had 4,243, 276.08. And with our balance here for 251, 811.57, we made a climb of $8,535.49 to the good in that period from December to this current time. 535.49 to the good. But with the stocks going up and down and going crazy right now, I'm kind of surprised at that. We're still too good.
Can I hear a motion to approve the treasurer's report, pending audit?
So moved.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the treasurer. It's been moved by Bert Crawford and seconded by Roger Stewart to approve the treasurer's report and a pending audit. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries unanimously. Can y'all still hear me out there?
Yes.
Okay. Committee reports, community services, Verna Crawford.
The Community Service Committee met on April 13th. There were 3 burials, 1 dental, 2 elder optical, 2 elder prescriptions, 7 emergency, 2 medical, and 2 rental applications, for a total of $3,675.08. 2 of the emergency applications were denied. And the next meeting will be the second Monday in May.
Culture Preservation Committee, Homer Scott.
Yeah, on our meeting, we had discussed the oversights, and we appointed we elected John Sumter and Nina Mathis as on the committee on the oversight for cultural preservation. And we voted that Vernon Crawford be the granting of the rights for that writing the grant. And then we added Mary Waters to signing up the checks. And let's see, as we discussed gathering of the Delaware in Wisconsin, and we're wanting to make sure everybody's signed up for it, and the ones that's for sure is going. And we're let's see, we're looking for monies to help pay our expenses up there back. And let's see, our next meeting, it will be May, what's the date? That's all I have for now.
Thank you, Homer. Elders Committee, Mary Waters.
Our meeting was called to order by Mary Waters. The prayer was by Bonnie Thaxton. The Treasurer's report was given by our Secretary of Treasury, Jan Brown, and she reported this year we have $6,185. Then add the carryover, $8,812, giving us a balance of $14,097. In our discussions, we talked about the elders' offices, the elders' officers being elected every 2 years, which our next election would be October 2015. We also talked about Jim Romano filming the elders. I think he has a grant post for that, and to talk to the elders about their families and their early days. And then we talked about entertainment for the elders, and it was proposed watching a movie, and Nancy Sumter made this motion, and she would report to us later on some movies to see. And then we talked about the trip to Wisconsin, July 22nd to 26th, 2015. And Bonnie Jo Griffith stated she would be on the committee to find out more information and will give us a report at the next elder meeting. Also, we talked about a pitch tournament or a dominoes tournament, and no plans were made on that. Anita Mathis gave a report on the Delaware display at the New Cherokee Healthcare Center in Osaleda. She had pictures of the artifacts to be displayed, and she showed us these. Then Chief Brooks reported the elders needed to pick an elder for the AARP award coming up. We voted unanimously for our honored elder to be Bonnie Thaxton. And also, we were asked by the chairman to appoint 2 people to serve on Cultural Preservation's NAGPRA Oversight Committee. Those appointed were Titus Frenchman and Nancy Sumter. And the last I have is at this time we are focusing on the trip to Wisconsin to participate in a gathering from July 22nd to July 26th. There's a sign-up sheet in the dining hall for those interested. We will have more details as plans progress. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mary. Joe Brooks, I apologize. I think I skipped over education.
Education, we met April the 13th at 1 o'clock. We approved 2 driver's ed for $75 apiece for a total of $150. We started off the year with carryover money of $5,141.98. Judgment fund budget was $33,413 for a total of $38,554.99. Through March, we have spent $22,938.27. We still have our fall scholarships to go. That's all I have. Any questions? We discussed these postcards that we want to send out for donations to the Education Committee also. And I believe Bonnie Jo and Vernon, were you going to help on them also?
I can. I know Nikki was working on it, and I didn't really know what she had done, but yeah, I'd be happy to help if I know what to do.
We decided to make it in a letter form instead of a postcard to look more professional to large corporations. We're gonna send it out, and they are tax deductible. So we're gonna send out letters to a lot of corporations and large companies asking for donations to our education committee,
To the committee or to the scholarships?
for the scholarships. But to the committee for scholarships.
Thank you, Joe. Reinvestment, John Sumter.
No meeting, no report.
Thank you, John.
Chairman?
Yes.
While we're on reinvestment, I want to make the comment that no more money than we're making at our best bank with our investments. I think we need to start taking more of a risk with our reinvestment money and doing something else with it that make this trust force more money. It's not doing that much. It's reinvestment sitting there in our best bank.
Well, what say I bring these boys, have Chet get hold of them, come down from our best, give us an update from their mouth. See if they have any suggestions as to which way we should go.
Now, I'm not necessarily talking about investing it with our best period.
Yeah, well,
We
like
need
I say,
to get some other people in here with some other ideas, because I think there's a lot more money-making opportunities out there for that reinvestment money than with our best bank. I really do. That's all I want to say about reinvestment.
that makes sense to me. I'm not real savvy in that area. Sure, we'll have to have a sit down, for sure. But I still think for sure too that maybe we ought to have them guys come in maybe once a quarter from our best and give us a report. I agree. That'd be acceptable.
I'm sure they would. Do you agree?
Would you get hold of them?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just once a quarter come in and give us a talk to and see what they think and what their excuse is.
Now, when we ask them to come out, you might tell them that we're looking for maybe a little more risky investment with just the reinvestment monies and see what they want.
But still, in the meantime, be looking at other avenues also. Get two bidders out there. Maybe we put out a word with the tribal members, see if one of them has an idea. Involve tribal members in this endeavor also.
We might want to have a special gathering, unofficial, and invite our tribal members in with suggestions for our investments. I think that might be a good idea because we need to definitely include our tribal members in our decisions.
Legal schemes now, past that word, legal schemes.
Right. Do we want to set a date for a special meeting now, or do we want to just wait until after we talk to our best?
Let's talk to our best first.
Okay, so we'll
See
set a
what they
date.
have to say, then we'll open it that way. That way we'll have to report to the tribal members also what the harvest has told us. Let them see what they think.
During our next meeting.
Right, so we'll set the date for a special meeting after we hear our best in May.
Just to give you an example, if we'd have put our reinvestment money 5 years ago, our reinvestment money would be worth 20 times what it's worth today.
Same thing with Hog Belly. You ain't kidding.
So there's a lot better investment opportunities out there than our best bank, I'm telling you.
I ain't run across too many people that don't like bacon.
And it's not going to go down. Gas prices may because of oil, beef prices are not.
Well, on paper, with play money, since the first of the year, I've turned $3,262.78 into $12,000 playing crude oil commodity contracts
In how many months?
since January the 1st.
3 months.
It's risky.
That's only about 1,200%.
It's something that if you buy a contract, you've got to watch it every minute, because it can lose money just as fast as you can make it. But of course, what you do is every time you've got a contract, you watch it, and if it starts down, you get rid of it. If it starts losing quick, and if it's going up, or whichever direction you played it, you hang on to it as long as it's going up. You can make a lot of money that way,
I'm
although
talking about our reinvestment money, not the bulk of our money in our investment bank.
we've always had in the neighborhood of $10,000 or $12,000 a year to reinvest. Under the right circumstances, had we taken $10,000 or $12,000 in 1991, just once, one year, and turned it over at the ratio that my paper trades have done for 4 months, we'd have 1,206 times the 17 trillion national debt. I don't think we could ever do that good, because there's a law called the law of diminishing returns. The bigger you get, the more overhead and the less you're going to be able to do. But our ability is really limited to our imagination.
I agree with John. We ought to talk to RBS first, and then I think we ought to open it up to tribal members to come in with investment.
I would like to, just to comment and remind everybody that our directions to RDES has been to be conservative so that we can protect the majority of our money. If we give them the go-ahead on a percentage of the investment, I'm sure they could get us into something more risky.
I'm talking about reinvestment money.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But we need to remember that the reason RDES hasn't invested in things that were more risky is because we told them not to.
Which we changed that here.
Some, but we still didn't give them.
Yeah, we use some restrictions, not a lot.
Well, I personally think that we've got to be conservative with 90 to 95% of our assets. But however, I've been told several times in the last 15 years, you should take the biggest risk you can take with 2 to 5% of your money, because that 2 to 5% of your money may make you more than the 95 to 98% of your money makes. But let's,
Chairman, I think Charles Randall.
Charles.
Yes, I was wondering if everyone on the trust board actually realizes or understands how the money is being moved around and how it's being invested today, or do we need to have a class to go over that with the trust board and maybe even some of the members, fellow members, just to understand what's happening today and what's a possibility.
Well, we do get a handout, like the last time Arvest was here.
Yeah, but
Everything was broken down, what investments they have made, what percentage, and all that. It was, I forget how many pages that thing was.
But do you really address how the trust board money is being handled today? When money gets transferred, where it gets transferred, and how all that flows? So
Yeah, they
you know
gave
what
us a
the
quick
questions are.
rundown. They gave us a quick rundown, just kind of
Yeah.
touched on it.
I was just wondering, just a class, just a session to kind of explain, where the money's at, what happens when the investments come mature, and so people understand.
That would be something that they could do at a special meeting involving the tribal
Yeah.
members, actually.
But I think that would be good.
They, of course, they do give us a report every month that shows every stock that they were in that month.
But do people understand when we actually pull money out of that and where it goes to at that point in time?
Yeah.
I'm not sure I understand. I think I do, but I'm not sure.
The tribal operations, no report other than the fact that I believe that we have paid, the trust has paid the 10%, or I'm sorry, 15% that the tribe gets every year out of our trust. Veterans Committee. Roger Stewart.
The Veterans Committee had their taco dinner and silent auction on March 28th. And with expenses taken out, we cleared $980. That was with $242 from taco dinner and $980 from auction. Our expenses paid out was $120. That leaves us a grand total of $988. And I was going to say that we plan on having another auction being successful. And we was going to try and have it during the powwow. But the Veterans Committee, which meets today at 5:30, will discuss this, iron out any problems that we may occur.
Thank you, Roger. Unfinished business. Do I hear any unfinished business? New business. And I believe that Gene Lewis wishes to address the trust board.
Dana, excuse me, do you have copy of the resolution with the official copy with the logo in red so that we can sign it to be sent out? I've got them in the packets, but I need,
Yes, I do.
okay,
Pretty sure she
do,
does.
I need it up here so we can sign it.
That, or I've got it in my office. Would you like it up there?
Yes, please.
Okay.
And Dana, I need 2 copies, one for the tribe and one for the Bureau. Sorry.
Okay. I want to introduce to you, this is Bill Turner. He is our auditor. He will be doing the audit on the trust board. And he has come by to speak a little bit with you all in case you have any questions or want to talk about anything. So Bill,
Okay.
bring it away.
Well, I talked to Jean earlier, and she said that you may have some questions concerning what we do, and if we could include that audit in the audit, which we really do that right now. I mean, that becomes part of the information that's in the tribe, just like the Child Care Foundation is part of what's in the tribe. Our issue is that, our trust indenture says that we will have an audit, so, but yes, it could be probably included with tribes, but the problem we run into is that a lot of that information is not detailed like it is in the audit I give to you guys at your end, for the trust. And things like investments, there's some detail in there that you don't see in the tribe's audit that the trust actually has. And then, see, the other thing probably is the detail on the different departments that you guys cover. The funding that you do on each one of them. That's not included in the tribes either. So those wouldn't be seen by anybody, and I just felt like the board still needs to probably see that information. And Jean said that possibly there were some issues concerning the audit fees, and I told her that as far as I'm concerned, we'll do the audit fees, whatever you guys want to do. I'm not concerned so much about that as though I want to get you the report so that you guys have a chance to see what's in there and get a little better picture than what just winds up in the tribe's audit. So questions, if anybody got any questions, I'll be glad to answer them. So.
Would it be possible to include that information in the tribal audit?
Well, if we do, then it opens up a lot of other things that should be in there if we're going to, make exception for one thing. That's the problem I see is that if we start putting that information in there, it almost draws other stuff away from some of the tribe information that we do. So that's my only concern is that the trust really needs, you guys need to see the trust, not necessarily, the council is looking at that trust the way you guys do. So I'd rather see you do it just like we've done, with that report coming to you as a separate report, and then that information then still flows into the tribe, but you get the majority, a lot more information on your report than what goes to the tribe.
I agree, it should not be combined.
What our issue was, though, we had gone up to $6,000. Oh, you can't hear? Don't do that. Bill's engagement letter had gone up to $6,000. And I thought that's an awful lot to come out of the trust board. And because your income has been down quite a bit the past couple of years. So we
I said that's not a problem. If we need to go back to 5 or whatever, that's fine as far as I'm concerned. I don't have an issue with that at all. Because I just tried to basically make it where it was fair for the tribe for you guys vote as far as the fee.
I'm just delighted that we're going to go back to the 5, and I really appreciate Bill doing that.
I put an asking for 50%.
You would.
He said he didn't care about the fees.
No, I
He
care
does
more
have
about
to
the
make
report.
it.
Let's put it that way. I'd rather for you to see the report.
So I got a good pocket.
It's nice that you do have it audited, and it's nice that you do have your own report. But we were looking for ways to help, and Bill has really come through for us, so I really appreciate his input on this. And do you have any questions for him before he gets started on the audit, or what you'd like to see at the end of the audit, or?
Well, I plan on doing the same thing we've done in the past. When we finish up the audit, I'll be over to a meeting and we'll go through it, and I'll let you guys ask any questions that you want to and those kind of things. I'll either report to you before the meeting so we you can have a chance to look at it and we talk about it at the meeting itself.
He first if there's any negative findings in our audit, I think it's all of these people's business also.
Absolutely,
So,
that's right.
Tribal members.
That's the reason I want to come and present it at a board meeting.
Open meeting.
Yeah.
Except that we can't hear you.
Okay. Are we still not working?
No, you're just gonna hold it.
Not close enough.
Ah, there you go.
Oh, that's what it is, okay.
Well, we thank you.
Okay, good enough.
And, Chief, did you have,
I just wanted to give you a little information. So, thank you, Bill, very, very much. Glad
Thank
you
you.
could come.
thank you.
Talk to y'all later.
We really appreciate it. I put at everybody's table our new accounting policy that we've written that was approved by the Tribal Council on April the 7th. It will also affect your activity coming through the accounting department. And I just wanted to be sure that you all are aware of it and that you understand it and that you have no objections to it. What we've tried to do is cut down on the number of multiple times the Tribal Council has to sign. They sign the green sheets, they sign the vouchers, and they sign the checks. And when you're looking at a utility bill of $26, that's a lot of work for the Tribal Council to have to do every day. And the chief is signing, I bet, 4-foot-tall stacks every week of the bills. So what we've done is give you a 2-tiered timetable so that you'll notice your social service recipient requisitions and your scholarship payments will be subject to be produced in 8 days, which is really pushing them out there. And the rest of it will have about 90 days to get all the rest of the payables through. But they're moving through pretty quickly now. So if you have no objection, we're trying to process things faster. And you have a problem?
I'm
You
gonna
have a
say it,
question?
I've said it before, and I'm gonna say it again. I don't think the tribal council has to sign off on anything to do with this trust board.
They don't. You all do.
It should be the chairman and whoever is the chairman of each committee.
I think that would be
And that would cut down on the process a lot also.
when your requisitions for social services come to us, the community services, the education things, the committee has initialed all of those requests. And so when it comes into my office, the only thing that remains is Sasheen fills out the forms and signs off as the director of who's taking care of your business. And then up until this point, Curtis has been signing off on it because we required that. Now, anything that's less than the $1,000, I will be signing off to be sure the coding is correct. And then you all will come and sign the checks. So you'll have the same control that you've had before, where you will see the checks, you will see the backup documentation. Your committees will have signed everything. That's what we make sure of in the county department. And the tribal council does not sign off on your things.
All I'm saying is what the tribal council passed, the wording is not correct there. It should state that the chairman of the trust board and the program directors, like Elders Committee, Cultural Preservation, it should spell that out. But really, that takes the trust board to pass that, not the tribal council.
Well, since we provide the services for you and you pay us to provide the accounting services for you, I think it's kind of appropriate that the tribal council does approve our original
I wouldn't have any trouble with them approving it, but they should have mentioned the trust board chairman in here.
Well, no, they didn't mention the travel. They did say the director or the responsible party.
And I
So
think-
it's a generic term.
Well, the responsible party, I know for community service and education, the chairman or co-chairman signs the green sheets.
Exactly.
And that is our authorization. So we are the responsible parties. And our chairman of the trust board is also the ultimate responsible party. It's not stated exactly, but that is the way I see that it's working.
That doesn't mean they're gonna hang me if something goes wrong.
I guess it does.
So what you're asking, I think within the,
But see, you're talking about, say we have an expense of trust board over $1,500. This says that anything over 1,000 to 2,500 has to be signed by the tribal manager. I'm just saying we could save a step by not requiring that. Should be signed by the chairman of the trust board, period.
and have the chief sign that and not the manager?
Yeah, he's the chairman of the trust board,
True.
and also the chief, but not sign it as chief,
That's a-
sign it as chairman of the trust
Awful
board.
lot of signing for him to do.
Well, we're doing that anyway.
But we're also requiring the tribal manager to sign it. And I think that's an unnecessary step on anything to do with the trust board.
I will have to take that to the tribal council and talk about it in order to be able to amend this. We're just trying to streamline our program enough to move things through quickly.
And we do appreciate that.
I mean, I don't have any problem with it, except I think we're requiring too many people to sign
Oh,
for trust board expenses.
well,
When the committee approves it, and then if it's an expense over a certain amount, this trust board has to approve it. When that man there, the chairman of this trust board, signs off on it, you sign off on it. That should be the end of it. It should be paid.
well,
Doesn't
for,
require any other signatures.
we went with the $1 to $1,000 with just the CFO and the director or responsible party. And that takes care of well over 90%.
Yeah.
Your activity is very rarely more than $1,000.
Our largest expense is our annual audit.
Audit.
That's correct.
And we have to approve it at trust board level anyway.
That's correct.
So that really is covered, don't you think? Because we're the ones that have to approve the payment.
As a matter of fact, we've got a directive from the cultural preservation wants to donate $1,500 to the Delaware powwow, and that will take a vote of this trust board to approve it because it's over our limit.
But see, it's over $1,000 too, so it states in there that the tribal manager's got to also sign it. That's another step of holding up payment.
Does he
Well-
have more authority?
Huh?
Does he have more authority over all of this?
Well, it's just
No, he's kind of for me especially, it's Delaware eyes looking at the bill as well. And I think that's important because sometimes I don't know the people, I don't know the history, but if the committee has signed off on what Google has sent to me, no one doesn't sign it. And I don't think,
let's get it started.
yeah, what do you want me to do?
Well,
That's always my opinion. That's up to the rest of the committee. I just don't agree that the tribe should have to sign anything to do with this trust board.
well, does the trust board wish to make that directive? Or
We
just,
actually have made it in the past, but it never went anywhere. Somebody didn't follow through with it, but
well,
I hear a motion.
Well, why don't we do this? Why don't we create the same thing for the trust board tables and put the language in there that makes you all comfortable, and we'll let you vote on it at the next meeting? Would that work?
this applies only to tribal expenses.
We could do that.
Oh, we'll do that. That's, you know, that's, I'm just stating my opinion.
Well, we could pass a trust board addendum to the accounting department and just stating that would probably be the simplest way.
Yeah, I agree that we're oversigning, because once the committee signs it, I mean, how many people do you want signing it? That's sometimes 7 or 8 people.
Once the committee signs it on the trust, approves it on the trust board, unless it's over the $1,000, then the whole trust board has to look at that. And then the chairman should be the only one that has to sign it, period.
Are our committees limited at $600 before trust board approval? That was the last.
600 or 1,000.
It's 600.
Yeah, 600.
That's what I thought.
600.
Trust board approval after 600.
Yeah, 600. But still, this whole trust board is looking at the expense.
I'd
So once
say,
we approve it and he signs off on it, why should anybody else have to sign it except Gene, our chief financial officer?
well, I think just a short addendum to this, that the trust board can pass stating that.
Okay, we'll do that.
That would,
I have no
that
trouble with
would
that.
put everything in writing, but it will also cut down any, you know, conflicts between the trust board and the council or whatever.
Okay.
And just do it as an addendum.
I'll bring it to you next
I'm not saying
time.
there's a conflict, sometimes there's just a holdup.
Right.
Our tribal
Well-
business manager, he does a lot of traveling sometimes.
But
Sometimes he's not here. If
we also
require his
have we
signature.
have our time now. It's not gonna get done any faster or any shorter by, doesn't matter who signs it, we have an 8-day responsibility to produce those checks for you. So the time is not gonna make any difference, but that's what we say we're going to do on the critical items. Do what?
We have to get our own ball,
Been trying it with you, You haven't done it yet. Last thing I want to talk about is everybody signed, that is supposed to sign as a check signer. And I have the new thing here in my hand, and I'll be mailing that to the bank in the morning, and Mary Waters will be an official signer on the checks. So, and that's it. I don't think I can cause any more problems.
You've got the signature for the bank with you right now.
I do. Everybody has
We've already
signed.
signed.
Everybody signed it.
Great.
And I'll send a copy for your files. Thank you.
While you're up here. So you've already got it, we don't have to worry about it?
Good day.
Good.
We need to approve this resolution under new business. Carl.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to get this straight now. First of all, I do want to go on record as saying, as your tribal manager, I am not holding up approval of payments for trust board activities. A lot of what I do is approving payments, whether they come out of trust funds or tribal council funds, for day-to-day operations. Everything from $15 package of light bulbs all the way up to the mowing and maintenance of our tribal properties here. Now, I don't know how to differentiate what is a tribal operations expenditure from the trust board. I would like to work with the trust board to make sure that we're clarified who has authority to sign off on those, because there is no, I mean, I know, Joe, you're the committee chair over tribal operations. If the,
Chad is now.
Chad is.
okay, I stand corrected on that. So then, Mr. Chairman, I guess you will be the one signing off on those, and then under these guidelines here, I would not be necessary to be involved in approving any of those. And that's fine by me. I think we're all in agreement that we want to go ahead and streamline the approval process on this. But I would like to assure this trust board, I am not holding up any payments for expenditures of the trust board. My role in approving these payments is to just make sure that all of the steps have been taken. And oftentimes we get a lot of for the trust board, it'd be the blue sheets, where nobody has signed off in that department director line, even committee chairs in some of the lesser funded committees. And I know, Mr. Chairman, that then a lot of that falls on you to do that. But I have no problem not approving the stack of paperwork that comes in. So I'll continue to work at the trust board's direction on getting this approved. But what I do want to make clear through the proposed policy now is that typically we have a 10-day turnaround on fairly routine expenditures. We get them in midweek. For instance, if we got it in today, we could have it out by Friday of next week. If there are high priority matters, we can jump on them right away. So I just wanted to mention that to the trust board during this discussion. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, and what Curtis was saying about the sheets.
We can't hear you.
Curtis mentioned having the sheets signed off on by the committees. When the committee approve an expenditure.
Somebody swap with her.
When the committees, whether it's elders, veterans, cultural preservation, if there is an expenditure approved, then the chairman of that committee needs to be sure that they go in and sign the sheets, or have the sheets there to be signed when that amount is approved. And that will eliminate the sheets going through without the proper approval. So that would be the responsibility of the committee chairman to make sure that we get those signed. I just wanted to make note of that.
Since this needs to be taken care of pretty rapidly, I'm going to make a motion that this trust board approve the cultural expense that they've already approved at committee level to the Delaware powwow for $1,500. I'm making that form of a motion.
Do I hear a second? Second. Or 2 seconds. Joe Brooks made the motion. Homer Scott, John Sumter second.
Homer has looking better.
Thank you, John.
Discussion. I will say this. I was told by Elaine that they had to spend $1,500 removing more trees. And I have absolutely no qualms about the committee making that recommendation, and I'll vote for it. It's up to the rest of y'all to approve it. Is there
Have a motion and a second. Call for the question.
questions been called? All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously.
Now, I'd like to request that anyone might think about it as individuals, donating something to the powwow committee, even if it's $10, it's going to help them out to get things done at the powwow. I usually, when my family camps, we usually get 50 to 100. But just whatever anybody can afford.
And under new business, the personnel committee meets in about 12 minutes. And Joe Brooks has resigned from the personnel committee. That leaves an opening for this trust board to appoint. Do I hear any motions to appoint any one of the trust board members to the personnel committee?
I'll make the motion to appoint Roger Stewart to the personnel committee.
He's on the Veterans Committee, which we have a meeting tonight.
I asked them to change the date of the personnel committee when I was on there, and they would not do it, so I don't know how we go about that.
And the reason that we didn't change the date is because of us all being here and not having to make a special trip in for that meeting. Of course, it goes the same with the veterans.
Well,
I don't know how
we only meet
this-
quarterly, ain't it, once every 3 months,
We meet every 2 months.
every 2 months?
With the things that's been going on, we've been meeting just about every month.
Can I make a suggestion? You're, brother, you're gonna go to the Veterans Committee anyway, aren't you?
Yeah.
And Kenny Brown's still, Kenny's still the chair. Would you?
We're gonna settle up veterans also. So does John.
How often does the personnel meet?
Every month.
Once a month.
Just once a month?
As
I
a
know.
trust
That
board.
comes in.
Now, it might be that the,
What time are council meetings over?
All of us are here for council.
Well, that only be in
Half of the personnel committee is
once
half of
every
it's
other
not.
month.
Yeah.
well,
It's a trust board, well, right now, we're gearing up mainly on these rifles and everything, and trying to see if we're gonna get permission to have an auction out there, which we have to get hold of Elaine and Jack to do before we do that. Possibly on Thursday night was one suggestion out there for our auction. That's,
Just middle of the day.
Some of them talked about Saturday too.
yeah,
Saturday afternoon.
well, that's in,
Saturday
that's in
would be
the
a lot
middle of
better.
Gord Dance time too. Because Gord Dance starts at 1 o'clock.
on Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday.
Sunday,
So that's gonna be brought up. But what I was looking at, I wouldn't mind, except I won't accept it this time because this is more important to me, the veterans, because the veteran committee comes first for me right now at this time. But next month, you know, after all this will be solidified with powwow committee and everything, if we still have an open position on that next month, if we don't want one tonight, I'll go ahead and fill that position
Well, what position?
on the personnel
Personnel.
committee.
He had moved.
I made a motion for Roger Stewart.
Oh, okay. If you
Nobody seconded it yet, though.
What are your thoughts, Roger?
It leaves me off the veterans.
No.
No, you'd just be missing one every other month if we had the Veterans Committee meeting every 2 months.
What, Mayor?
Could we
what about
possibly
Mayor?
ask the personnel committee to give a little bit and have their meeting at 6:30 instead of 5:30? Or vice versa, or the veterans meet at 6:15, or veterans committee meetings usually only last 30 to 45 minutes.
That's true there. then with Kenny coming from Tulsa, that'd be something we could discuss tonight. See if we, I don't know how we wound up at 5:30, to tell you the truth.
And the same thing with personnel committee, usually only meets an hour.
Kenny, we make it down here, you know.
Would 6:30 then be better even with veterans?
Personnel committee usually
Well,
only meets an
Something we
hour
need to discuss
also.
tonight.
Can we miss one appointment to the personnel committee for one meeting to let the veterans get this discussed, to see if they're willing to cut it back? I don't think they would mind cutting it back to 6:30, something like that,
6:30 would be good.
6:30.
Benega?
That we can work around that. At the beginning, when we were having our personnel committee meetings, we needed to have them on a more frequent basis. Now we're just down to once a month, and in case, you know, and we're flexible with that. I don't see an issue.
My motion still stands then to appoint Roger Stewart for the trust board and personnel.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. Is there further discussion?
Do you want to? Okay. Just want to make sure.
I'd already asked, that's why I made the
At the expense of the veterans committee.
No.
Yeah.
And we'll expect you not to be there.
For sure, it's just, to me, the Veterans Committee comes first.
Okay, all in favor of the motion to appoint Roger Stewart to the Personnel Committee, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries unanimously. Do I hear further new business?
Yes, Chairman, we have a resolution that we need to consider. It is Resolution 2015-01, a resolution of the Trust Board of the Delaware Tribe of Indians to identify designated officials approved to conduct business with the Office of the Special Trustee for American Indians. Do you want me to read the whole resolution or just the whole? No.
I've already read it.
Well, I meant for the benefit of our,
That's up to the audience if they want the whole thing read.
okay. Do y'all want me to read the whole resolution or just the people that are being appointed to the positions? Okay, good. Now therefore be it resolved that the trust board hereby approves the following persons to initiate tribal disbursements via trust board resolution. That's Trust Board Chairman Chester Brooks, Vice Chairman Mary Waters, Secretary Verna Crawford, and Treasurer John Sumter. Be it further resolved that the Trust Board hereby approves the following persons to provide investment instructions via the Trust Board resolution. Trust Board Chairman Chester Brooks, Vice Chair Mary Waters, Secretary Verna Crawford, and Treasurer John Sumter. Be it further resolved that the Trust Board hereby approves the following persons to receive information on tribal trust accounts. Trust Board Chairman Chester Brooks, Vice Chair Mary Waters, Secretary Verna Crawford, Treasurer John Sumter, Trust Board members Homer Scott, Joe Brooks, and Roger Stewart. Council and staff members would be Chief Chet Brooks, Chief Financial Officer Gene Lewis, and Attorney Tom Peckham.
Motion to approve resolution number 2015-01.
Second.
Motion's been made by Joe Brooks and seconded by John Sumter to approve resolution 2015-01. Do I hear further discussion? If not, all in favor of the resolution, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion to approve resolution 2015-01 carries unanimously.
I make a motion for our next meeting to be held at 4 p.m. on May 20th here in the Delaware Community Center.
Motion's been made. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Vernon Crawford.
Same time.
Vernon Crawford made the motion, and Homer Scott seconded. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Do I hear a motion for adjournment?
Make a motion.
Motion's been made
Second.
and seconded to adjourn. We are adjourned unless I hear an objection.